We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC and Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jordan Red Jackets Coaches Show. I'm Richard Holdridge here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. You just finished watching Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, as I interviewed the athletic director of the Jordan Red Jackets, Coach Russell Scott. I've got three fantastic coaches from Jordan High School that's about to come on here on the show. And we even got two brand new head coaches for the Jordan Red Jackets. I mean, this is a community that I know of a lot of alumni that went to Jordan. It's one of the oldest schools in Columbus. A lot of pride. That Red Jacket pride is just, it really runs beyond Columbus. The first coach I'm going to have on the Jordan Coaches Show, I can't think of anybody better that represents the program of Jordan and really is the jack of all trades. And I'm really pleased to have Coach Cherine Cobb on. I mean, she's not just the head basketball coach of the girls' varsity basketball team, also head coach of the flag football team, the softball team, the assistant baseball coach. You also are one of the track coaches. I mean, you pretty much have your hand in most athletic programs at Jordan. How are you doing this evening, Coach?
I'm doing good.
All right, Coach. Well, before we get into your coaching background, just give us just a brief. How did you get started in coaching? What sport you played? Where did you grow up? And what led you to coaching? What were some of the things that during your playing time that made you say, you know, I really want to coach and have an impact on these kids' lives?
Well, I grew up playing sports, all kinds of sports. So even from a young age, I knew I wanted to have something to do with sports. So the one thing you can do with sports is coach. But after I started coaching, I just like making an impact and being there for the kids and creating that family atmosphere. I went to Harris County High School and I played softball, basketball, and ran track. I also ran cross country for a period of time also.
Yeah, one thing about the county, they love their sports up there. I know that we have Rick Beach who covers Harris County for Kutsu Sports, and so you're going from Harris County to, did you play college ball anywhere, or what did you do after high school?
After high school, I went to Columbus State. I ended up doing just regular intramurals and extramurals and was a community coach for Harris County. And then as I got into my master's program, I got the head basketball job at Jordan, and that's where I've been ever since.
And you have made a tremendous impact as the Jordan Lady Red Jackets made the playoffs for the first time since 2012. And just talk about that success that you have proven, you know, working and building this basketball program up. And what was that feeling like when you clinched last year and made the playoffs for the first time in over a decade?
It was a great feeling. A lot of our kids, we had a rough year overall with the loss of Coach Napier last year, and he used to keep our scorebook for us and everything like that, and so they really played really hard, and just to make it last year, it was a dream for them, especially those seniors that had been working for 4 years to get there.
Yeah, that was a tremendous loss in the Jordan community. If people who didn't know who Coach Napier was, he was just a selfless person that just gave his time and effort. He was the flag football coach and also, like you mentioned, the scorekeeper. And he loved Jordan Red Jackets athletics, and he surely will be missed. Coach, we're going to go ahead and start with the softball program because you were also not only the assistant baseball coach with Coach Lane, which they made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons, but you are also the softball coach. Just talk about like when you start with fall sports. I mean, you got softball, flag football, volleyball. I mean, what goes into like what is like a daily routine for Coach Cobb when you have all these sports that you are focused on and just trying to build them up and encourage these student athletes at Jordan to play for you in these sports?
Well, a lot of them play multiple sports in general, and then once they play one, they're like, "Ooh, I want to play another one." So they get excited about it, and so like over the summer, all of my teams they work out together in the weight room together, and then we'll split off and do their individual stuff afterwards. But they really bond together in the weight room, and it encourages them to get into another sport and not just doing the one that they started off with. But so typically I have all three softball, basketball, and flag football in the weight room. And then I'll have my assistant coaches afterwards kind of break them off into their particular sport. And if they play all three, then they'll do softball comes first, so we'll do softball first, and then kind of go from there. Once the school year starts, then we really only focus on the sport that's in season at that time because, like I said, most of them are playing multiple. So even though it's not basketball season, they're probably either playing softball or volleyball. So that's kind of how I go. And then once flag football starts, softball will still be in season. So we'll do softball practice in the mornings and flag football practice after school.
Well, one thing, Coach Cobb, Georgia Alabama Sports Live plans to be there to live stream Jordan softball. I mean, that's a season that actually starts right away. Even when football doesn't even start just yet, you're already into the thick of things. And because the GHSA has softball in the fall, you're able to get into those region games with your rivals like Columbus, like a Kendrick, a Hardaway. I mean, how important is it to have all these schools in Columbus in the same region to cut down on the travel? Because in the region that you were in last year, you had a lot of trips to Macon, and it's really going to help just have these student athletes spend more time in class. They're not leaving at noon to go to a random Thursday night game, and they don't have to miss a whole lot of class.
I'm gonna say it has its pros and cons. Some of the pros with playing the Macon schools is we competed with almost everybody, and we were competitive. Whereas some of these Columbus schools where it's gonna be harder to compete with, but the kids are up for the challenge, so I'm up for it also. But like I said, it's pros and cons to both. Now they get to stay in class, they get their education, which is the most important part. So it's good for both sides of it.
Coach, I do want to talk about the success that you had last season, making the playoffs for the first time since 2012, and also finishing sixth in the Muskogee County Christmas Tournament. I thought that was a huge, a momentum for your program. You took on a very tough Northside team, but I mean, you were able to win in the semifinals to get to the fifth place game. But how important was that just to show that Jordan Lady Red Jackets basketball is up and coming, that the product is continuing to grow. And by the way, I caught a Jordan Spencer game like on a Saturday afternoon, and you had a great turnout, and it's really a great atmosphere in that gymnasium watching Lady Red Jackets basketball.
The kids were excited. They know kids from all the other schools and all the other teams, so to play against them, it's like all the schools are rivalries to a certain extent because they all have friends everywhere. So when you beat somebody that's a friend, you get bragging rights and things like that. So it is a builder, and it helped us get through the season last year.
Coach, like I mentioned, you went 10-19 last year, but went 7-7 in the region. I remember I was following your team, and you were able to get a big upset win against Northeast in the region tournament. And it was also great to see you play at Spencer. In fact, we were trying to live stream that game, honestly, on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You were playing and I want to say that it was a third place game, and you took on Southwest. That was actually at Spencer High School. What was that atmosphere like? Because I know that your fans had to be there to support Jordan in this region tournament that just happened to be in town.
Well, we had just came off a big win against Northeast. We were down the whole game. They really fought hard. So actually going into that game, they were worn out and tired, but they played the entire game and they were excited to see their fans in the bleachers and not having to travel 2 hours.
That is very true because you did take on Central Macon in the round before, which was one of the best teams in 2A for girls basketball. But you talk about like you are losing some seniors, some key players from last year's team. Talk about the outlook for this upcoming 2024-2025 season. What are some of the non-region opponents you're looking at playing on the schedule? And what are some things that you have done in the off season as far as like summer camps, any summer leagues that you've participated in, and do you have anything going on in fall leagues as well?
So for this upcoming year, we're gonna be really young. I got a big freshman class that'll be sophomores this coming up year. That's really one of our leaders is going to be a sophomore next year. So that can tell you how young we're going to be. But they've been in the gym all summer working hard. We really worked out hard in the month of June. We go to FCA camps, and then some of our girls, the ones that really, really want to be great at it, they'll work out with us, and then they'll also work out with the boys.
Yeah, one player that I noticed on last year's team, I think her name was Wimberly. She graduated, right? Or is she coming back?
Yeah, she graduated.
Yeah, she had a huge impact for your team last year, Coach. I mean, hopefully you'll have some players that can just carry the load and just carry on like what she accomplished. Coach, I cannot stress enough what you have done with Jordan Athletics, not just the girls basketball team, but the impact that you've had on these kids' lives. I enjoy seeing your social media posts about working with FCA. I just think that you are an inspiration to these student athletes. Just continue doing what you do. We love what you do, Coach. And we here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live want to be there live streaming as many games as we possibly can. And we are looking forward to this upcoming season, not just for basketball, but for softball, flag football. And then I didn't even touch up on baseball. You're also the assistant coach under Coach Lane. Just good luck this upcoming season. And we can't wait just to support Jordan Athletics.
Thank you.
All right. That is the head girls basketball coach, Cherine Cobb of the Jordan Lady Red Jackets. We're going to go and take a break. And when we come back, we got a brand new boys varsity basketball coach. It's Jonas Barnes taking over for the legendary coach Gerald Turner. You don't want to go anywhere. This is Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's the Jordan Coaches Show. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox. Discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We are back. We are smiling. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. It's the Jordan Coaches Show. as this is dedicated to the Jordan Red Jackets. A great interview by Coach Cobb, who's not just the girls' varsity basketball coach, also the softball coach, the flag football coach, the assistant baseball coach. And if I missed a sport, Coach Cobb, you can message me later because I want to make sure that you get your flowers, that you have had a tremendous impact, and what you have done helping the AD Russell Scott there at Jordan has been phenomenal. Next coach, as I'm excited to bring the next coach here on the Jordan Coaches Show. It's his first year as the Jordan head basketball coach, taking over for the legendary coach Gerald Turner. Please welcome to the show. It is Jonas Barnes, the head basketball coach of the Jordan Red Jackets. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. All right, let's talk a little bit about your basketball background. Where did you grow up? Where did you play? How did you get your start in coaching, and what led you to Jordan?
I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I've been playing ball since I was 5 years old. The YMCA League. From 3rd grade to 11th grade, I played AAU. 7th and 8th grade, I played at East Columbus. When I got to high school, I went to Kendrick High School. I played all 4 years. After that, I did 2 years at CV under Coach Mahone and Coach Battle. Then after that, I went to Fort Valley and finished it out. I got hurt my last year at Fort Valley, so that ended my career. Then a couple years later, I got into teaching, and that's it, really.
Yeah, and you've really, who are some of your mentors, Coach? I mean, because you talked about Coach Battle over at Russell County. You talk about the legendary coach Richard Mahone, who's in the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. Any other coaches that have had an influence on your playing days and eventually got you into coaching?
I got a lot of great coaches. It started off when I was younger. Coach Barrett, Coach Pam, Coach Ice. When I got to Kendra, I had Coach Cannon, Coach Rob, Coach Hicks. So I had a lot of great coaches coming up.
All right, and what are some of your experience that you've been as? Is this your first time as a head coach, or have you been an assistant anywhere?
No, sir. This is my first time as a head coach. It all started last year. I was just doing the book, doing the clock, and I started coming to practice with the boys and girls. Then last year, I went on the road with Coach Cobb, and that experience, I like it, so I might want to try it.
All right, Coach, you're taking over for legendary coach Gerald Turner, who's retired a couple of times. He won a state title in 2007, and the Jordan Red Jackets had just an incredible player by the name of Terrence Hill, who, by the way, is the head basketball coach at Columbus. So that's going to be a very interesting game. We're going to make sure we pencil that game and have it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But what Coach Gerald Turner has done, building up this program, he unretires, comes back from retirement, but steps down. I mean, what are some of the things that you took away from learning under Coach Turner, and what are some philosophies that you'd like to implement to establish your own system at Jordan?
You already know Coach Turner. He run them. Soon I became coach, they asked me, "Is we gonna run like Coach Turner?" Yeah, really. We're gonna run still. But like over the summer, I've been working on player development, making sure they know how to make the right passes, make open shots, just the basic stuff as well as just running. But Coach Turner always gonna be a legend. Coach Jordan will always be Coach Turner.
Yeah, and Jordan is now in a new region with all the public schools, like I've mentioned to all the coaches that we've had here on their coaches shows. I can't wait to see these rivalries renewed. These rivalries with Hardaway, with Columbus. I mean, schools that are in close proximity. Of course, you had Jordan, Kendrick, and Spencer. They were all in one region last year, staying in 2A. You don't have to play the schools in Macon. The only team that you're playing in the region that's not from Columbus is Sumter County. That's only an hour away in Americus. I mean, what is your expectations just coming into this season to try to build up Jordan basketball, to try to get these players to buy into your system? And quite frankly, Coach, they get to play with their friends because they're going to be playing against all the other schools here in Columbus that they probably grew up playing with at middle school and at the YMCA. And I think it's just going to be a great experience for them. But yeah, just talk about that process of them buying into your system.
They just have to come in and be ready to play for me. We starting we rebuilding, so I feel like if they just come as a team and play together, we can compete.
All right, Coach, you've done any summer leagues at all, and how did that turn out? And do you plan on getting your players, to participate in any fall leagues, getting ready for the season?
We played in Coach Williams Summer League, the Swoosh League. I only had 2 days to practice before the Summer League, but I have seen progress from each player so far, and we still working.
All right, so talk about some of the returning players that are going to be playing for you this year, Coach. What are some of the key players to watch for this upcoming season?
Okay, I got 4 returners player. I got 3 seniors. One is Neil. He's our 5-man. I'm looking for him to be powerful in that paint, get all the rebounds, blocking shots, but also calling for the ball on offense. My point guard, Brian, he's a senior as well. I want him to step up, be the leader, know how to control the floor. Then I also have a shooting guard named James. Also, I want him to be a leader and knock down shots. And I have a sophomore coming up too, so I'm going to throw him that 5.
Yeah, Coach, you did mention Davin James is playing for you. I recognize that name. That was the quarterback on the Jordan football team. It's great just seeing these players playing multiple sports. I know that I'm about to have Coach McDaniel on after you. I know that this is a very tight-knit group, Coach. I just interviewed Coach Cobb. This Jordan family, it's really close-knit, and really you make the city proud just because there's a lot of people that live in Columbus that went to Jordan. They want to see Jordan on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They want to see Jordan competitive, and I think what you're doing is just laying the foundation. And I can't wait for this upcoming season, Coach. Before I let you go, one last question I have for you is that schedule, the non-region schedule. I know it's not official, but is there any other opponents out there that you plan on playing? Are you open to be playing the private schools? Are you willing to take on a Calvary Christian or take on a Glenwood on the other side of the river? I mean, what's like the limitations on creating the schedule?
This year, Coach Cobb, she did the schedule, so I let her do all the scheduling. But I'm open-minded for any team.
Well, we cannot wait till this upcoming season. Good luck, Coach. You know that Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there. Like I told Coach Cobb, I mean, I've been to your gymnasium, a lot of tradition and history. I would go to the concession stand and I would just go into the hallways and look at the trophies and just incredible history. You hold that 2007 championship banner with pride. I know we've got to do like a reunion for that team. I mean, I know that Coach Hill at Columbus will be a part of it, but that'll probably be in about 3 years. But just looking forward to seeing Jordan basketball, and good luck this season, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that is the Jordan boys varsity head basketball coach, Jonas Barnes, in his first year. We're going to go and take another break here on the Coaches Show. And when we come back, we got another first-year coach for the Jordan Red Jackets. We got Coach Aaron McDaniel. I know you're excited about Jordan football. Get ready. It is the Jordan Coaches Show right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we will be right back.
You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox. Discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
And we are back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This is the Cherine Coaches Show. I want to thank Coach Cherine Cobb and Coach Jonas Barnes. Now, next coach is a brand new coach, as well as many of you know, the Cherine football team kind of fell on some tough times 3 years ago, but I think it's getting in the right direction, and I think that this is the man to do it. I know Cherine is up and coming. They got talented football players. We already talked about Davin James. I got excited when we live streamed that first game against Columbus on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Cherine was in that game in the fourth quarter. And that was important. If you were a Cherine alumni, that was important. And I thought it was a win for them just to finish the season. Please welcome to the Cherine Coaches Show the brand new head football coach of the Cherine Red Jackets, Coach Aaron McDaniel. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing great. I really appreciate you guys having us on tonight.
Absolutely. And by the way, we will see you in a couple of weeks at Muskogee County Media Days. So this is kind of a warm-up, getting ready for that, because you know we're going to be asking the questions. First of all, appreciate you joining the Cherine Coaches Show. Talk about your first year as the Cherine head football coach. Just talk a little bit about your background, where you grew up, your playing days, and what led you to coaching.
All right, so I appreciate you asking that question. So as most people know, I did not take the traditional route to become a head football coach like most other coaches here in Muskogee County. I'm born and raised in Louisiana, Homer, Louisiana to be exact. I come from a football family. My dad played in the state championship game when he played in high school. I went to the same high school that my dad went to, my uncles and my cousins. So it was just known that, hey, you were going to play football. It was just part of our lineage, right? So had a great high school career. Moved on, played college football at Southern Arkansas University. I was part of the 1998 Go South championship team there. And so after then, I ended up joining the military, and that's when I really I knew my playing days were over. I really got engulfed into the military life. And while I was doing that, that's what really cultivated my leadership skills and just getting in there, coaching, leading, and mentoring young men and women throughout the military. And so I spent 25 years in the Army, retired here at Fort Moore. Along the way, I coached middle school and high school football in Kansas and in Missouri along the way. When I got here to Columbus, Coach Phil Marino gave me an opportunity. I coached over at Columbus High School, and I coached there for a year. Then Coach Jenkins over here at Cherine gave me an opportunity. And I was extremely blessed to take that opportunity to see what he was doing here at Cherine. Coach Jenkins really set the foundation here at Cherine to start rebuilding after those tough times. And now my goal is to take it to the next level, grow from the team building to the program building stage.
Yeah, for many of you that don't know, Cherine in 2021, they were just struck with injuries and COVID. They could not field a team, and so they completely canceled the football season. I know it was devastating for a lot of those Cherine fans, but Coach Cadell Jenkins, let's talk about him. He brought the team back up. He had 2 years as the Cherine head football coach. Didn't win a game, but had the impact of just finishing games. And I saw the improvement from year 1 to year 2. You had a very special player in Davin James. You had Derek Armitage. I mean, you've had some playmakers that are coming back for this season. Coach, just talk about Coach Cadell Jenkins laying the foundation and getting the Cherine football team to where you wanted to get, and just talk about some of the things that your team has been doing in the offseason preparing for this upcoming football season.
So I can't say enough about Cadell Jenkins. I mean, just a great man. He definitely was a great leader for a time, and he was here at Cherine. Just being a great man for the program. I can't put it any other way. Just enduring what he endured as far as like the lack of players or the lack of just whatever. He was very resilient and did a great job showing these boys what right looks like. And so moving forward, I'm blessed to have like all those boys that he started with. They like Davin James. He's a senior. Most of these boys are seniors. They're mature. They played a lot earlier than they should when Coach Jenkins was there. because they had to. Now they're battle tested. They're ready to play. Now they're bigger, stronger, faster. Uh, we had a good spring. We didn't do spring football. We did spring workouts. That was me just getting a handle on the program, doing a good handoff with Coach Jenkins. We had we've in the middle of a really good summer. We did some 7-on-7s this summer. The boys came in, they competed, they've been showing up, they've been working out, they've been giving me their all, and that's the only thing I can ask for.
And I'm telling you, Coach, I've seen the improvement. I honestly believe that the first win is going to come. It is going to come. You got a young team coming back. Pretty much your impact players from last year. We talked about Davin James, the quarterback, dual threat quarterback, making plays. I mean, Jordan was in that game against Columbus. That was the first game we did on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. That game, it was a Saturday at Otis Spencer Stadium, taking on Central Macon. That could have been a game that you could have won. That was a very competitive game going into the fourth quarter. You talk about some of the impact players on this team, like the leading tackler, Artavian Brunson, who is just a junior, and Isaiah Rogers. Is he going to be playing running back too? He was a sophomore last year. Is he coming back for his junior year? And what are some of the other players like Brendan Moreland? I mean, you have some players that are going to make big time offensive contributions, but you're going to have them play defense too. I mean, because you really want your playmakers out there. I mean, is Jordan football going to have the players to go ahead and play at those positions, or are you the type that believes that if I have a skilled player, I'm going to have him at wide receiver and at cornerback?
So I tell you what, that's the mindset I am, especially here at Jordan. We don't have the advantages, or we don't have the opportunities that other schools here in Muskogee have. We don't have the 60 and 70 players coming out to play football. We got enough. We got 40. And the way I talk to the coaches, we're evaluating players every single day. We're looking for the best 11, the best 22 to put on the field to go out there and compete.
By the way, I do a special shout out. The Calvary Christian head football coach, Emmanuel Brunson, played wide receiver at Jordan. I know that would have been great if they could try to schedule that game, now that Calvary Christian's in the GIAA. But you do play Chatco on August the 30th. And I want to say that we want to try to be there for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know that Coach Bruce Figgins, who was the Pacelli assistant, he was also an assistant with the Columbus Lions. He's taken over a program and a team that missed out on the playoffs. I mean, Chaco, their fans are going to come out there and support it. And really, this is a place that's not that far away from Columbus. I know that your Jordan fans will probably make that trip down to Casita. But just talk about this upcoming schedule this year, playing all the teams in Columbus in the same region in 2A, and some of the teams that you're going to face, like a Chaco, that just means that the team is not going to have to travel as far for other road games.
So I really believe Mr. Battles did a great job with bringing all the Columbus teams, close the gates on Columbus, keeping us here in Columbus. I know the past couple of years when I was at Columbus, we was traveling down to Albany all those years. That whole season, and last year we was down in Macon most of the time. And you look at the stands kind of sparse. It took a toll. It took a toll on the team. So now being here in Columbus, and especially playing the teams here in Columbus, you got some great coaches here. You got some great players. There's talent-rich environment. I'm a huge football fan. It kind of reminds me of the SEC West right here.
That is absolutely great, and you're going to get those rivalries back. These schools in Columbus, it's all going to be for bragging rights. I mean, we're going to get to see Jordan take on Hardaway, Jordan Columbus. In fact, that's the first home game. You're going to get to see Jordan Kendrick, Jordan taking on Shaw. I mean, I'm just excited about this. Coach, one more final thing before I let you go. Just talk about how people can support the Jordan football program. What can they do as far as if they want to be a booster? What can they do to donate their time, their effort, their money? Because the Jordan football program and all the athletics at Jordan, they need funds because these student athletes need money for equipment. But what can they do to be a booster?
Hey, I really appreciate you asking that question. Right now we have a couple things going on right now. This week we have a snack, Gatorade, and water drive going on right now. So if anybody out there wants to support the program, support the boys. We have a snack and water and Gatorade drive going on. You can drop those items off at the Jordan gymnasium or at the coach's office. This week we're here the 15th through the 19th from 4 to 6, and you have coaches, you have parents out there willing to pick it up. We have a digital fundraiser. Just inbox me for all the details that you can donate for that right there. We have a booster club. Inbox me. I can get you all the details to get you joining the booster club. That's a supporters with sponsoring pregame meals. If you want to make a cash donation, we have Cash App, Zelle, and all that set up right there, so we can get the boys all the enhance the football experience for the boys. Come out to the games, come out to practices. All the practices are open practices. We encourage all alumni to come out there. The boys need to see what Jordan used to be, and I'm definitely here to embrace the past, embrace the tradition that Jordan used to have.
Well, Coach, we are excited for this upcoming season. Good luck the rest of the way, and looking forward to seeing you at Muskogee County Media Days in a couple of weeks as well.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for what you're doing for Muskogee County sports too.
Absolutely, Coach. That is the new head football coach of the Jordan Red Jackets, Coach Aaron McDaniel. This has been a great show. We've had Coach Cobb, we've had Coach Barnes, we've had Coach Aaron McDaniel. Thank you so much once again. And don't forget that we've got sitting down with an athletics director, state of the programs coming up. We've got Northside, we got Harris County, we've got Spencer. That's all coming up this week. This is the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Everybody have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile.